I'm in New York State riding the Erie Canal from Buffalo to Albany. The Erie Canal bike path covers about 360 miles. It goes east and west across the state of New York. Welcome to the Empire State. Served the needs of industry and commerce is now a recreational corridor for boats and bicycles. Besides, the Erie Canal is legendary. The Erie Canal is historic. The Erie Canal is awesome. That's why I had to come ride it for myself. You read about it, you hear about it, but you gotta come see it. Anyways, I'm riding the towpath on the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal from Buffalo to Albany. That's one BA bike tour, if you know what I mean. Good morning. It is Tuesday, June the 25th, and I'm in New York State, and I'm riding the Erie Canal Trail. Actually, this morning I started in Lockport, which is a few miles east of Buffalo. Stayed at the Lockport Inn and Suites because they're nice enough to let me park my car there for 6 days. But it's a beautiful day. I should be in the low 70s. It's a little breezy, but the wind's behind me, so it's a good day. It's day one, and I've got a ways to go. And I'm going to try to make Rochester tonight. Really, it's not about the canal itself so much as the little towns that you go through. The historical little towns that grew up along the canal that probably owe their existence to the canal. Today I went through all the ports, little towns that end in port. I've gone through Gasport and Middleport, Spencerport. Went through Brookport. I went to the bike store there looking for a guidebook. They directed me across the street to the Lift Bridge bookstore, which always keep the Erie Canal guidebook in stock. So I picked up one of those, about 25 bucks, but it was worth it. Now I got a paper map for everything. Before they had railroads and interstate highways, they had canals. They would load goods up on a barge and float it down the canal. Of course, they didn't have motors. Instead, they had mules. And the mule would tow the barge along the towpath with a rope. Well, they still use the canals, but they don't use the towpaths. So some of the towpaths have been converted to bike path, which is pretty fortuitous for me. So I'm riding along the towpath on the Erie Canal. I'm in the Empire State. Good morning, it's Wednesday, it's June the 26th, and this is day 2 on the Erie Canal. I just left Rochester this morning. I'm headed towards Weedsport. Should be about a 70-mile day. I got an early start. It's nice and cool in the morning, but I followed the towpath out of town. They've got it set up nice through Rochester right along the Erie Canal. Stay on the towpath. But the weather's supposed to be good. It's going to be a clear day. Highs in the low 80s, so that's not too bad. Hopefully stay dry for another day. Went through some more ports today. Went through Wayneport and Fairport, Port Gibson. Gonna end up in Weedsport. Still see a lot of boats in the canal. Between Knowlesville and Albion, the trail was under construction. They were grooming the embankments. They were repairing the trail surface. I tell you, there are very few, if any, hills along the towpath. A couple of slight grades, but that's it. But once you get off the towpath, there are lots of hills. It's good to get off the towpath once in a while. Right now I'm on a section of road. See what the countryside looks like. Got a nice tailwind. That's pushing me right along. And on these paved roads, I can really make some time. But I got about 20 miles to go. I got reservations in Weedsport, so I gotta get down the road. Making my way across the great state of New York on the Erie Canal. always know your neighbor. You always know your pal if you've ever navigated down the Erie Canal. How's it going?
Good. Where are you coming from?
Well, I started near Buffalo, headed to Albany. How about you?
Started in Connecticut.
All right.
Headed to North Dakota.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We got an interesting rig here for your GoPro.
Yeah. It is Thursday, June 27th, and this is day 3 on the Erie Canal. Stayed in Weedsport last night. Today I'm headed to Rome. Gonna go through Syracuse. I'm not sure what to expect other than it's a big city. Well, I'm still riding on the old towpath along the Erie Canal. Great towpath. Some places it turned into a single track, but they really maintain it well. But it's another beauty day on the Erie Canal. Weather's supposed to be in the low 80s and sunny all day with a light breeze. You can't ask for better weather than that. We'll see. But I'm just getting started today, and I got a long ways to go. So I gotta get down the trail. There's a lot of history along the Erie Canal bike trail. The Erie Canal was built in the 1820s. It wasn't very deep and it wasn't very wide, but it did the job. As canal traffic grew, they had to upgrade it. So in the 1860s, they dug it wider and deeper. And then they upgraded it again in the 1920s. In some places, they just dredged out the old canal and made it wider. But in other places, they rerouted the canal and abandoned the old canal. Right around Weedsport and Jordan, it looks like I'm following the old canal. Along the canal there's a series of locks. It'd be nice if the land were level everywhere, but it's not. The canal water has to be level though. The locks either step up or step down the elevation of the canal. Some of the locks are still used today, but some of the old locks have been abandoned. And in some places in these little towns, the canal has been converted to a park. Well, still day 3. Managed to make it through Syracuse without getting lost. But yeah, going through Syracuse, you got to get off the towpath. It's a nice bike lane most of the way. Followed the old canalway right into downtown. Of course, the canal's not there anymore. But there's a museum. It's really worth checking out. An aqueduct is like a bridge for water. It allows the canal to cross a river by overpassing it. It's kind of weird to watch a river go underneath the canal. I saw some big old lunker fish in the canal today. Gotta make it to Rome. You know what they say, when in Rome, do like the Romans do. Anyway, it's another beautiful day on the Erie Canal. It's Friday morning, June the 28th, and this is day 4 on the Erie Canal, and it looks like it's going to be another sunny day. I left Rome this morning bright and early, probably do about 60-65 miles today. Well, I'm still following the Erie Canal, but now the Erie Canal is alongside the Mohawk River. So they call it the Mohawk River Trail, but it's mostly natural surface. It's basically mud. I could see how on a rainy day, this would be sloppy. And I'm making my way from west to east across central New York State, following the Mohawk River Valley. Very historical valley. A lot of these little towns date back to just after the Revolutionary War. Towns like Utica and Schuyler, Little Falls. As I get further east, it seems to be more populated and congested. The Erie Canal shares this corridor with the New York State Thruway. You can probably hear the Thruway traffic behind me. Anyway, there was about a 12-mile portion today that was off the trail between North Utica and Mohawk. Even though it was off the trail on roads, there weren't too many hills. It was a nice bike lane. New York State Bike Route 5 kind of parallels this same corridor. So it seems like anytime you have to get off the towpath, you're routed onto Bike Route 5, which is actually pretty nice because there's a really nice bike lane. The towpath is nice and secluded, out of the flow of traffic. It's really hard to beat. Just too many places to stop and take a break. That's my problem. But I ride early in the morning when it's cool. When it heats up in the middle of the day, I slow down, take a lot of breaks, find shade. And now it's getting late in the day, the shadows are getting long, and it's time to ride hard again. Still got a few miles to go to Canajohorie. I'll figure out how to say it, but I've got reservations there tonight, so that's where I'm headed. Tomorrow's my last day in Albany tomorrow night. Anyway, it's just a lovely day on the Canalway Trail. Yeah, I want to thank the great people of New York State for their commitment to bike travel, setting up the Erie Canal bike path. Way to go, Empire State. It is Saturday morning, June the 29th. And this is day 5 on the Erie Canal Trail. I left Canajohorie, I think that's how you say it, this morning bright and early. Headed to Albany today. Today's my last day of riding on the Erie Canal. But anyway, I stayed at the Budget Inn last night. It's one of the scariest motels I've ever been at. I don't recommend it. Plenty of B&Bs available in that area. It's my last day on the Erie Canal. Should make it to Albany sometime this afternoon. Got a hotel reservation in downtown Albany, and then I plan on finding a train station and taking the train back to Buffalo tomorrow. So I got my car parked in Lockport, but I'm headed into the big city, Albany, New York. Got about 60 miles to go. Mostly trail though. Got to go through Amsterdam, and then Schenectady, and then Albany. We got a lot of urban riding today. I came through Schenectady. Nice old buildings, nice old town. And the Mohawk Hudson bike trail just led me right to downtown Albany with no trouble at all. I thought there would be a lot of city riding with cars and congestion, but it was really easy. Albany's a real historic town. It started in 1609. Yeah, crazy. This is where the Erie Canal starts. Welcome to Beaverwick. Sunday morning, I'm done riding. Finished riding yesterday. I've got a couple hours to kill before my train leaves, so I'm just hanging out with my buddy here in the city park. It was raining earlier this morning, but now the sun's coming out. It's kind of nice. Now all I gotta do is get out of Albany. The Erie Canal bike trail is what I would call a short bike tour, or a biker shorty. So it doesn't have to be an epically long tour. But for a nice 5-day bike tour, you can't beat it. There's lots of cozy little quaint canal towns along the way, with lots of old-timey character. And in between those cozy little towns are miles and miles of bike path. A lot of the bike path is paved. Some of it's crushed stone, some of it's single track or double track. I think they call that natural surface. In some places, the route takes you off the trail and onto roads. The roads aren't too bad. There's usually a nice bike lane right on the shoulder of the road. But what a great trail. Covers almost the entire state of New York from west to east. I highly recommend the Erie Canal Bike Trail. Thanks for watching. Now go ride your bike.